The internet's forgotten art form.
Machinima, a combination of words machine and cinema, used to describe the method of making animated film using software similar to that designed for making video and computer games. This style of video production was pioneered by dedicated fans of the Quake series in what were originally called Quake movies. What was widely considered to be the first machinima ever created was the video Diary of a Camper in 1996 by a gaming clan called the Rangers. And although it was primitive, its creation inspired others to use video game engines as mediums for storytelling. The act of making machinima can be relatively simple and intuitive compared to other styles of filmmaking by reusing game assets, animations, and using a person's in-game avatar as an actor. Because of this, the machinima genre has become a popular avenue of self-expression across video game titles like Halo, Garry's Mod, Grand Theft Auto, and The Sims. All of these games and many others had bustling communities of film.
Which one have you guys watched? Fuck, I can't remember what I watched, but was it called flashplayer.com? There was like this claymation I used to watch a lot, which is kind of like a machinima with clay. There was one game I watched. Maybe it was World of Warcraft. I watched a lot of World of Warcraft machinimas. WoW and Minecraft, Halo machinimas are great. Google actually spreading misinformation with their AI. Red versus Blue, Garry's Mod, Halo stuff, Minecraft stuff. Gotcha. Team Fortress 2.
Filmmakers, but one stood out as being utterly unique.
Oh my god, this is so old. The internet's forgotten art form.
The year is 2004. World of Warcraft was at the forefront of innovation not only in the gaming space, but for our entire modern culture.
The platform is good at cooking video. Holy shit, the drop of this music on this next scene, I love that.
The year is 2004. World of Warcraft was at the forefront of innovation not only in the gaming space, but for our entire modern culture as a whole.
Holy shit! Wait, was that Bean?
But for our entire modern culture as a whole.
Guys, 26-ish? Bean is fucking 50 years old. I told you guys.
That's many people,
Bean right there.
It was their first experience playing an
Bean
MMO,
right there.
And in turn, their first experience with the full potential of the internet and being able to connect with anyone and everyone all across the world. World of Warcraft was a trailblazer into our current internet-dominated culture. It was an adventure, a social platform, an addiction, and an unforgettable experience mixed all into one.
I'm addicted to the game, but I'm not fully addicted. Like, I can quit whenever I want. This really kicks ass, doesn't it?
This video, I watched it back like a few months ago on stream. They made it look worse, man. He was just a kid having fun, but they made him look like an evil villain there. And this is why our parents is like, Jimmy, you need to stop playing WoW or it's gonna ruin your life. Or maybe they're right, but yeah, my dad was like, yo, if you kill people all the time, you're gonna forget that you're not playing a video game anymore and you're gonna kill people IRL like those psychopaths. My dad always said that to me, man. You're always killing people, man. You're gonna kill a real life person soon because you're gonna go crazy. And I was like, Dad, that's not how gaming works.
For everyone at home, what is machinima?
Machinima is animated filmmaking within a virtual 3D real-time environment. Basically using computer games to record scenes as if you would.
How many have you killed?
You'd actually set up, rather than playing the game and fighting and killing, you kind of set up the characters and record what they're doing, edit together, and create a movie around it?
Exactly. It's like setting up to use a term, a puppet show to a certain degree. Only you're using this really elaborate and engaging environment, this really visually rich environment to use to create a whole scene. And because it's using the game technology, you get the benefit from all the things that you can do with the game, which is create new characters, create whole new worlds, and things like that. It's really amazing stuff.
At the same time, people across the internet were discovering the filmmaking potential in virtual spaces like video games. And a game like World of Warcraft was the perfect space for machinima creation. It was a massive world with countless locations for filming, hundreds of character customization options, and an open world environment that allowed players to collaborate with like-minded artists. Because World of Warcraft is a video game first and foremost, there are some challenges players must work around in order to make a film within the game. Like other players standing in your shot or not being a high enough level to film in certain zones.
Damn.
Regardless, using the world of Azeroth to tell stories was an effective tool, and the rise of World of Warcraft's popularity coincided with the rise of the internet and popular video sharing websites. Before YouTube, there was a site called Warcraft Movies, which was created in 2004. According to the website's timeline, the first Warcraft movie uploaded.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I know we're talking about machinimas in this video, but back then, PvP videos were like bangers. I don't know what they did back then. They injected some steroids into players. They pumped some rock music. Big crits happening when the rock music is screaming. Man, PvP video was so good back then. But it died out because of like the copyright music, muting the VOD, and people put in so much hours into these videos. So it died down because of YouTube, in my opinion. And the audience of PvP like started shrinking more and more and more over the time of the game. But yeah, fuck. Back then, Mayday, Lane Time, Drake Dog. Who else, guys? Vertney, Roadcraft. Holy shit, they were so swifty.
To the site is a PvP montage from WoW's beta, set to the insane lineup of songs from the Braveheart soundtrack, Stone Sour, Marilyn Manson, and The Offspring. But I wouldn't consider it.
Wow, dude, I've never seen this WoW. Maybe I don't remember it. I don't remember it looking this. Maybe it did. Maybe it did.
To the insane lineup
on this a little bit blue here. The icon looks different, right?
Of songs from the Braveheart soundtrack,
We Are Alive,
Stone
Bessie
Sour,
Man.
Marilyn Manson, and The Offspring. But I would.
Bro, what the fuck is that?
I really missed you, Mr. Streamer.
Yo, get guys, thank you for the 1 year. Appreciate it, my man.
Consider it a machinima, as there really isn't any story being told here. The next video would be in December of 2004, called I Surrender, which is a music video love story set to Celine Dion's song of the same name. This pixelated masterpiece seemed to have touched the hearts of many, with comments on the site saying things like,
Aw, nice. Nice. This is my first rating and comment ever. That was a nice movie thing, man. Hey, how do you hide the chat bar thing and the thing with the skills on it? You hit everything. How?
Not entirely clear how the guy died indeed, but still, the part where you saw her first and then the same picture without her later just made me feel sad.
OMFG, I don't know either to throw up because of all the fucking spinning or cry laughing. GG, fuck that music sucks!
I watched it again and I finally understand the part where he's in the water. He jumps and when you see him in the water, he's a spirit. Once again, I nearly cried. This really makes you think about life and death and how unfair it all is.
Holy shit, that guy really liked this video. Ziva wannabe minion.
Life and death and how unfair it all is.
World of Warcraft and video sharing websites like Warcraft Movies, and eventually YouTube, grew parallel with the game.
Yo, type 1 if you guys remember Google Video. I watched Google Video before YouTube. And all the PvP videos were on... Was it Google Video? It was Google Video, right? And then I think they merged or YouTube bought them because all the Google Video went to YouTube at some point. But I remember that happening because me and my brother always went to Google Video and then we would play like Lane Time and listen to that music in the back while we have WoW running because we didn't have like a music player back then. Rolling a cigarette while alt-tab watching Savix auto-run into Ungoro on hardcore. Yo, careful, man.
This is one of the
Google
many
bought oh, okay. YouTube bought them? Wait, I'm getting two information. YouTube bought them, Google bought them. Who bought who?
Why Machinima became a significant part of the game's...
Dude, I remember this video being super popular. I need to rewatch this. I didn't like... I don't know what I didn't like. I didn't like that a guy was using a female character to voice act. I think that's what I didn't like.
Culture.
So I didn't watch this when I was younger.
And video sharing websites like Warcraft Movies and eventually YouTube grew parallel with the game. This is one of the many reasons why machinima became a significant part of the game.
Yeah, I was like, why is a guy using a known female and voiceovering? Is so weird.
Culture and
so I didn't like that. I liked when guys did guy voice and girls did girl voice.
Use the game as a canvas to make narrative series, music videos, dramas, sketches.
I also didn't. I'm a fucking hater, guys.
Canvas to make narrative series, music videos.
I hated. These musics were so cringy.
Dramas, sketches, and really anything else that could come to mind. Also, during these early days of the internet, where the quality of content wasn't particularly high,
I remember
one of the
these.
advantages machinima had is its relative high quality, and it was far easier to create and less of a time investment. Furthermore, many people formed a deep connection with these videos, not just because they were funny videos online. They were relatable because they were created in Azeroth, and viewers were living the experience of being in that world.
Hey, this guy's got a certain appeal, so I'll tell you what, noob, I'll make you a deal. You beat me, and I'll give
comments.
you
I like
all
this
my
type of
gear.
music. I also like the blue dress. Din 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 din. I can't sing the whole thing, but yeah.
Nice stuff too.
There's some good ones. There were some cringy ones too, though.
The popularity of Wow Machinima was recognized by Blizzard during the first
Big-
ever BlizzCon.
big blue dress?
In this very first iteration of the convention, attendees could enjoy lots and lots of alcohol, play StarCraft Ghost, which would later be cancelled, play the newly announced Burning Crusade expansion, where one could play the new horde race, the Blood Elves.
Guess that means more guys playing girls, yeah?
And during the initial announcement, the Alliance race, the Draenei, was not made known to the public.
2 new races, the Blood Elves of Quel'Thalas.
Holy, that looks so different.
ESL gut zu. Just went through my second puberty, so my voice changed a little bit, but he hoped you will
I don't care, Guzu. Come back later. All right.
The second race? Well, the second race, that was close. That was good. That was good.
That was close. It was?
You almost got it out.
Pandarians?
There was also a climbing wall,
Holy.
a jousting area, ping pong,
Yo, Insta,
and a
thank you for
Q&A
28
with
months
developers and
appreciate it.
writers.
This question's kind of inevitable. I know you probably don't want to address it, but why are there 2 Hakars in Warcraft lore?
Did Richard Knack ask you to ask that? Did he
Damn, I can tell, like, this is the Giga Chads that started the WoW, man.
roll me on that? Damn. I'll roll that out. I'll let the guys off the hook. The answer is, my bad.
Battlegrounds, a Dota tournament where you could win an
Holy,
MP3 player,
holy.
voice impressions,
What ho? Stop clicking rage. Remove.
and most importantly, Jonathan Davis from Korn made an appearance.
Oh, what?
But the event we'll be
I didn't even
focusing
know
on in
that.
this video is the first ever WoW movie contest held at BlizzCon. This movie contest was sponsored by Nvidia and Asus, and 5 winners of the contest would be credited by their in-game names in the
Bro, I remember I watched this. This was good. I don't know if I've seen these two.
guild they were a part of. All 5 of these winning machinima films were premiered at BlizzCon. The first one being Condemnation, a story about a group of guild members rescuing a lost gnome in Duskwood.
You pathetic whelps! You think you can save your town with the help of an inept gnome?
I think we may have located the source of Ticket's disappearance.
Another was called Rise of the Living Dead, where a group of undead attack Alliance players in the Deep Run tram.
I will taste your flesh.
There was also Wish Upon a Paladin, where a paladin is transported.
Am I crazy to say, chat? I like this quality because you can't count the pixels. When people make classic WoW movies with the computers nowadays, the game looks I don't know how to describe it. Like I could count the pixels and the everything.
There was also Wish Upon a Paladin, where a paladin is transported into
Like
a
with this graphic, it doesn't look that bad.
genie's bottle.
I wish my gear wasn't so bad.
Oh my god, I remember watching this with my brother. He goes like, I wish I had a cool mount. And he gets like a reindeer or something and the orc smokes him and he loses his girl. And I didn't like that because I liked paladins back then.
That is a good wish.
Oh my god, this is such
That was a
old...
very good wish.
Another was called Return, a story of a soldier returning from war
This one was
only
good.
to find his home destroyed. This is an important one that we'll be talking about extensively later in the video.
You there, young man. How is the road to Stromgard?
What do you mean, old man?
Do you not know the
The
way?
road is as it always is. Do you not know the way?
I remember that line. Do you not
I
know
know
the
my
way?
way well enough, lad.
And lastly, there was Zinrath, the movie.
How do I know I can trust you?
Trust me? Do you know who I am? I am.
Zinrath the movie was created by Clint Hackelman, online name Mindflame, and his brother and guildmates.
Holy dude. This guy was the original monster enjoyer. We have like kits now with the white monster boxes in the back, right? This guy is the OG. Holy shit.
Clint helped write the script, voice act, and made the original score for the film, and his brother did the editing. Out of the 5 winners of the BlizzCon 2005 movie contest, this one was definitely the most technically impressive and filled with clever shots.
Gotta think of something fast.
What? Is this Danish? Illegal Danish, right?
You're getting an ass kicking.
Hey, how's it going?
Out of the way!
Come through.
Hey, dragon! Tell your mother breaks were delicious.
You look at those videos now, the quality really isn't that great. And in some of the shots anyway, you know, it's like we were...
I was gonna say the opposite. I'm impressed how well they did it with the tools they had back then. Because I remember my first video I made, I was using Fraps. And my keybind was F6, I believe. It could only record like 30-second or 20-second. I don't remember. It was a free trial, so I would like spam chain CC that as I'm PvPing. It was like part of my rotation. And that's how I made my first video, man.
using a blue sky.
Because the other movie makers, it had like a text like Bandy. Was it Bandicam chat? It used to have a big ass text if you didn't have the purchased version. And Fraps was the only one that wouldn't have that logo, and I wanted to look professional, so I used Fraps with limited capturing things. Crazy how we have like OBS free systems now. Oh my. Crazy, guys. The technology we have.
To composite
So
things,
much
you
better.
Point the camera at the sky so that you could composite something in. And there were some really basic techniques before Model Viewer came into existence.
Model Viewer was OP.
WoW Model Viewer is an open source
Holy.
program created by UFOZ and Dargic in June of 2005, and it would change the WoW Machinima landscape forever. The program was relatively simple. It would search
Type
through...
1 if you have played with this younger. I was on this shit so many times. I would put on all the gear that I always wanted to wear, and oh my. I would like look at the animations, like draw them. I had a folder of drawing of WoW characters. I wish I had them. I don't know where they went. Probably lost it during a move or something. So sad. I had so many WoW drawings back then. And they were, I want to say it was...
Welcome back, sir.
I remember it being kind of good because I remember all my friends saying, yo, can you draw me one too for my binder? And they would all put it in front of their binder. You Pepsolini, thank you for the 21 months. Appreciate it, my man.
your game's client and allow users to see every model, character, weapon, and spell graphic in the game. This completely revolutionized how WoW Machinima was made.
This one was a mistake. They spammed the raid bosses to do silly dance moves all the time in Machinima, and I hated those.
No longer were Machinima artists bound to the
Ruins my
confines of the
immersion
game's
with
limits.
the cool
Now they
bosses.
could create practically whatever they wanted by filming an in-game background and then compositing a character over it. This, coupled with people using another program called Wow Map Viewer, or creating their own personal servers to do whatever they wanted in the world, allowed artists to push the limits of filmmaking in Azeroth. WoW Model Viewer allows artists to make a type of machinima that is incredibly unique.
Is this Tales of the Past? Yeah, Pepsi, thank you for the 21 again. PPC. I will say, I think Tales of the Past is the best WoW Machinima. Right? Is there any other films that are kind of like on that level? Is it Tales of the Past? Is it Tales of the is that the one with the Rip Paladin? Blindcraft? Illegal Danish was really good. Me and my brother like spam watched that when we were younger and waited for that next episode to come out that never came out. Maybe came out after years. It's not good as Tales of the Legend though. Or Tales of the Past? I don't even know what it's called, man. Either Tales of the Past or Illegal Danish. Okay. Inventing new swear words. Have you been spending too much time with Reed Elf? The title is right there, bro. I have no idea, but we're going to be playing tomorrow.
Compared to how machinima was made in other games. The limitations of making a film in a video game were heavily subdued, and now only an artist's imagination was the limit to what they could create. Mindflame and friends would put this to the test with their next machinima, created for another Blizzard movie contest in collaboration with Xfire. This video includes almost 100 player characters, 10 voice actors, an original score of...
Why did Blizzard stop doing this stuff? I feel like these are cool. I think RuneScape still has something like this, right? They have a competition for videos and art. I know World of Warcraft had a art page too, and I would like submit my drawings there to be uploaded, but never got approved. League of Legends had something like that too. I forgot what they did, but they had some like community competitions. They're try too hard now. I feel like it's a throw. They need to bring this back. Yo, Blizzard and Play, if you're watching this, you should bring this back. Because these type of tournaments you guys do for creators to make videos, number one, it makes a good bomb video. Passionate players will make a bomb-ass video with the game you play. And if that video is a good video, more people are going to watch that and want to come back and play the game again, maybe from the nostalgia feeling, right? And if there's a bunch of people doing it, I feel like it's a win situation, isn't it? I feel like they should bring back the community stuff.
15 tracks and over 1,500 hours of work. It is the Illegal Danish Super Snacks.
Holy, they spent a lot of time on this.
I'm out of here. I and many others are of the personal belief that the Illegal Danish is the best machinima ever made. While many sections are filmed in-game, the scenes filmed using
this was good. I watched it a lot.
A model viewer highlight the potential of the program by mixing objects and characters and repurposing a model's use into something wholly
different. Does he talk about
that was never
Tales of the Past at
by
all?
The developers. For example, we can look at the main antagonist of the video, who is made up of a gnome mech, a gnomish gear repurposed to look like a Gatling gun, a dwarf model head, and glasses that have this graphic from the Deep Run tram overlaid onto them. This is just an example that with a little bit of creativity, a machinima artist can combine an amalgamation of assets to make practically whatever they desired. And the Illegal Danish also wasn't just technically impressive, it was also the most quotable machinima in all of Warcraft history.
So there I was, in the Silithus Desert.
There's an imposter amongst us, and he touched my ass.
Yo, I never knew that as a kid, but what the fuck? They touched his ass? If I think about it as an adult, that's weird as fuck. When I was a kid, I just laughed at it. That's like sexual harassment.
Let me tell you, it is awesome!
This is not the time for dwarven river dancing.
Are those the pants?
Pants?
The healing pants.
This film was wildly popular, gaining over 700,000
Oh, I remember this guy singing like, "I am the captain of the Theramore." That was a good song.
views on Warcraft movies alone, and the second Illegal Danish movie, Illegal Danish: Escape from Orgrimmar, released 2 years later and garnered 500,000 views in the first 24 hours. And the popularity of Mindflame's work allowed him to make content creation his full-time job, which was unheard of at the time. One of the main methods of monetization for his work was selling the original music created for his videos on iTunes.
Holy.
But because of the obtuse legality of monetizing films made within a copywritten video game, Clint was severely restrained on developing other revenue streams when making content online, but he was motivated to make it work.
And I wanted
That kind of sucks. I feel like if they did this a little bit later, but it would have been too late, I guess, right? Because YouTube, you can make good money now, but back then you made absolutely no money at all.
to do it legally. So
And I think it's cool that some people get to do what they love with YouTube, whatever the passion project is. It's cool, man. Yeah, now internet has like taken over. I always make this reference. You know how back then people say like American dream and they come and get jobs and whatnot? And the kids now are like, oh, there's no jobs. Dude, internet is like that pathway. There's so many things you could do online now to make money. It's crazy. Copyright ruined everything. As a creator, yeah, if the copyright wasn't a thing, I feel like we could use some bomb-ass music, make some bomb-ass videos, because good music can make your shots feel way more epic. And I remember using a bunch of no copyrighted free songs for my PvP montages in the later days, and I hated those musics.
Spent quite a few years just going around the country, meeting up with attorneys and video game developers, and worked with Henry Lowood at Stanford University to gather together a bunch of game developers to put together a prototype of a machinima licensing agreement that everybody could use, and kind of came to this agreement between the game developers that we won't sue you. That's what they told us. They're like, well, we won't sue you, but you still can't profit. There were times to where
Wait, what?
we had opportunities to work with major networks to produce machinima for cable television. They would tell me, oh yeah, we'll take care of the licensing. Well, when it came down to starting production, no one could get the licensing. So, you know, Cartoon Network, MTV, they just couldn't do it. They could not get any of these game developers to allow them to create a show based on their video games.
Damn. I think I grew out of the machinima at this time, Chad. I don't remember this one.
Where'd you go, man?
What the fuck? Mindflame continued to create Wow Machinima until the Cataclysm expansion, and during his career, he branched off and created his own website, did live streaming and Let's Plays, and nowadays, he has taken a break from creating content online and is learning to play Christmas songs on the ukulele.
Okay. Pretty cool, man.
Let's talk about WoW movie contests again. There were a lot of these movie contests over the years, and were the reason why a lot of the most beloved machinima productions were ever even created. During this time, WoW Machinima was seen as an emerging technology and a new frontier of filmmaking for your average person, and there was a buzz in the air to support and pursue this new medium.
Yeah, the deadline was great. Hey, Ted, what's up? Hello, hello. Hope you're doing good.
Easily, the most iconic contest was the Rogues Do It From Behind.
I'm trying to soak this in. This website was so cool, man.
behind music video contest, sponsored by Comcast. This was a song made by the Elite Taran Chieftains, a metal band composed of Blizzard employees. ETC perfectly frames that this was a different era in the history of Blizzard with their song Rogues Do It From Behind, which has iconic lines like, "Rogues do it where the sun don't shine.
Rogues do it where the sun don't shine.
Gonna creep inside your back door.
Gonna creep inside your back door.
And call me Ice-T, original gangster."
I used to call me Ice-T, original gangster.
This contest was actually split between US and EU. For the US, there were 3 winners.
Holy shit, this was where it started, guys. The EU versus NA.
All of them winning an iPod with 8 gigabytes of storage.
Holy
the EU winner was a
iPod?
15-year-old boy who won a surround sound
15-year-old? What?
audio system. Now, typically these contests were
That guy's still playing WoW for sure, man. That guy's my age then.
15-year-old boy who won a surround sound audio
Wait, a 15-year-old made Rogue Do It From Behind? Or what am I...
system. Now, typically these contests were a collaboration
I'm getting some information wrong here.
effort between Blizzard and other companies like Comcast or Alienware. In
Oh, the
2006,
music video for it. Okay. I thought he made the music. I was like, oh my god.
they collaborated with Xfire to make a film contest with $26,000 worth of prizes. The winners of the contest had their films premiered at Stanford University. Winners won things like a GeForce 7900 graphics card and an Athlon VX processor. The person that won first place got a $5,000 PC. That film in particular was Edge of Remorse. But
Yo, 5,000 PC back then?
not all iconic machinimas were made for movie contests. Others were simply works of pure passion.
Oh, yo, that's one right here. This one was so hard. Because usually all the machinimas are like funny or like fairy tale and their action kind of sucked. I could say that, right? This one, the action was packed. It was a game changer. Because even in the
Tales of the Past is the most ambitious WoW Machinima series ever made. This is a 3-part series which is almost 2 hours and 30 minutes long and includes a complex storyline that intertwines with Warcraft lore, has large-scale battles acted out by players, and has surprisingly well-made anime combat fighting scenes.
I don't know how they did it back then. I don't think he can play the full thing because music copyrighted.
These 3 films are created on the Dune Mall EU.
Holy! Wait, this has this many views? Oh my dude, WoW was popping off back then. I feel like this was our Minecraft back then, maybe? Because Minecraft now gets this amount, right? WoW rarely gets these many views, I feel like.
Server and involved coordination of over
Holy
1,000
shit.
players and more than 20 voice actors. Some better than others.
Demons have controlled us. The Alliance has ordered us around. This time, we must stand alone.
Yimmer, we have to get out of here. Use the teleport
This voice acting.
now.
No, Baser. I mustn't live.
What are you talking about?
It will all be explained. Here. The book you're in your backpack.
The final battle scene in Tales of the
It was good back then, alright?
PS2 required over 500
His mom was probably sleeping and he was like whispering to her, guys, I'm gonna die.
players from both factions, more than 10 raid leaders coordinating over Ventrilo, and kill squads of players that would camp trolls trying to interfere with the film's production. and this whole server-wide collaboration crashed the server multiple times.
Damn.
The third film, Tales of the Past 3, has been viewed on Warcraft movies over 6 million times, making it the #1 viewed machinima on the site. A lot of the scenes, the combat ones especially, hold up even to this day and are just an incredible, over-the-top spectacle.
Dude, this is #1. This is #1, guys.
Of machinima creation. One of the things I appreciate most in these films is the clever use of animations. Another advantage World of Warcraft machinimators have is a wide selection of emotes to use. In WoW Model Viewer, you can combine different
there could be half and half, I know this.
emotes together and have the bottom half of a model doing one emote and have the top half doing another. In Tales of the Past, they use this to their advantage by combining multiple emotes together to create something totally unintended, which I think is super creative and requires a lot of out-of-the-box thinking. You can tell these films were made with a passion, first because of the sheer amount of effort put into it, and second because of all the copyrighted music added to plenty of the scenes. Like, we have almost all of Hans Zimmer's entire discography, the Naruto soundtrack, Nightwish, the Metal Gear Solid 3 soundtrack.
Yeah, this is impossible to do in YouTube. Like, this whole video is gonna get fucked.
And the final battle scene ends with Trust Company's downfall.
Holy! Dude, this was so sick. Whoa, 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 you're gonna get copyrighted, Platinum! You're playing it too long! Are you crazy?
But Tales of the Past has earned its spot as one of the best machinima projects ever created, not only for its technical prowess, but also the server-wide collaboration that was required and the community it fostered. And yeah, the banger soundtrack of badass songs.
一定要为广大玩家造天亮。
要得，为了早日开放巫妖王，我们玩家支持你。
开服就送4周年熊宝宝。
I remember something like this, but I didn't understand it. This is not my language, chat, okay?
威武，保证没有外挂。
30哥荡漾，
三通线路。
30哥求交往。
Meanwhile, in China, a machinima was released that would transcend its World of Warcraft audience.
Dog.
The film, War of Internet Addiction, is a Chinese anti-censorship film made by a user named Corndog. It was uploaded January 21st, 2010, and used World of Warcraft as a framing device for the difficulties Chinese players of World of Warcraft were facing.
世风日下，我是看在眼里，疼在蛋上啊！小号代练，装备代打，荣誉代刷，当老板儿号都不用自己上。 结果呢？暂时拿到成务了，算了。海尔啥事那个？没准备那么多。
Holy, this guy was calling this out back then. Alts, Chinese servers are getting worse every day. Alts are rushed, gears are bought, honors are farmed. People don't even log onto their character themselves.
结果呢？成务，暂时拿到成务了，算了。海尔啥事那个？没准备那么多钱。喊看你妹去头水产之所回来开巫妖王。 都几个月了，屁都没得一个。
The big thing that separates how the West plays World of Warcraft compared to China is that Chinese servers are not hosted by Blizzard. It's third-party companies that host official Chinese World of Warcraft servers. The Shanghai-based game operator called The Nine was given exclusive rights to host the game. That is until April 2009, when the license was moved to NetEase, so Blizzard could get a higher cut of royalties. This transition resulted in a rocky game experience for Chinese players. Additionally, the government organizations, the General Administration of Press and Publication, and the Ministry of Culture play an important role in the monetization and the censorship of the game. One of the most glaring instances of censorship is the removal of anything related to death, skulls and bones. One of the more hilarious methods of censorship found within the alternate Chinese World of Warcraft client are all of these grim assets.
I forgot what the rule was. I remember you guys telling me why they censor it, and it was like...
That's simply being turned into loaves of bread. All that is to say, when the World of Warcraft expansion, Wrath of the Lich King came out, there was a lot of censorship that needed to be done. So much so, the expansion was released in the West on November 13th of 2008, and it wouldn't be released in mainland China until August 31st of 2010.
Holy, they have to wait 2 years? I didn't know that. What?
Machinima, The War of Internet Addiction was released between these two dates and voiced the frustration of Chinese players who loved World of Warcraft but were unable to play the new expansion because of their government censorship laws and because of the bureaucratic chaos of third-party companies and government organizations all trying to profit and control the operation of this live service game. Even to this day, Chinese players have to deal with this negotiation chaos, and in January of 2023, the game to deal with
the thing. Millions of Chinese lose access to World of Warcraft and other hit
this
games.
negotiation chaos. And in January of 2023, the game servers were closed entirely after a failed negotiation between NetEase and Blizzard, and were only recently reinstated on August 1st, 2024. Additionally, the War of Internet Addiction also criticizes the Green Dam Youth Escort, which is a mandatory software installed on computers that censored online content and harvested data from users. During this time, the concept of internet addiction in the youth was a hot topic in China. In July of 2008, the state-ran television channel Chinese Central Television premiered a special about a man named Dr. Yang, who believed a cure for internet addiction was the practice of electroconvulsive shock therapy, also known as CET.
What?
Families would spend around $800 per month for their children to be treated for their internet addiction with psychiatric medication and ECT. The War of Internet Addiction also heavily criticized this method of treatment, and the film's cinematic finish ends with all of the WoW players across China summoning a giant spirit bomb to defeat the symbolic version of Dr. Yang.
Holy shit! Holy shit, they're making videos to show their frustration. It's crazy.
Addiction was a wildly popular machinima in China that reached an audience who were not even familiar with World of Warcraft, but Chinese internet users at large could connect with the criticisms the film provided.
They call us gold farmers? Oh no! We tolerate these pathetic names. Guys, they didn't get fucking rat for 2 years. Of course they're gonna farm gold for the rest of their life for 2 years of playing WoW. Holy shit. Look at this. 2010, 2008. Dude, no wonder they became the farmers, man.
And although it was censored on various websites, its popularity could not be contained, and would later win the Best Video Award at the Tudo Film Awards.
Holy.
The Machinima's Wikipedia page cites that the video was even more popular than James Cameron's Avatar during that year, but there really isn't any source to this claim, but regardless, I think
I was gonna say, dude, Avatar was huge back then.
It was the popularity of the film in mainland China. The War of Internet Addiction showcases the possibilities of machinima. The very game Chinese players are passionate about also gives them the tools to articulate their struggles in an entertaining manner in a filmmaking style that is not as artistically intensive as something like traditional animation. That is to say, the rudimentary art form of machinima can be used to bring attention to the voices of the powerless with simple yet effective storytelling. And I think the War of Internet Addiction should be recognized by the Warcraft machinima community at large for its cultural significance. A college student studying history is playing World of Warcraft into the wee hours of the night. In his free time, he participates in his school's choir and has a passion for storytelling. A passion that he explores by making short films within his favorite game. His name is Brandon Dennis, online name Oxhorn, and creates multiple films for machinima movie contests and simply for his own personal enjoyment. Some of his films would win awards at these contests and were relatively popular at the time. But in 2007, he would upload an innocuous little short music video parody, think nothing of it and go to bed, not knowing that he had just created one of the most popular machinimas to ever be uploaded on YouTube.
Nomu, what's up, man?
Oxhorn's parody song Rafflemau has almost 18 million views on YouTube, making it
Bro, this is so old.
the second most popular Wow Machinima on YouTube. And while I love the
Yo, Guzu with the big red. Yo, Guzu, hope you had a fantastic stream. More, good to see you. Guzu, much love. Guys, if you don't know Guzu, check him out already. There's a shout out. We're watching some internet's forgotten art form of Wow Machinima. This is pretty good. This is so old, dude, man. Holy moly. Guys, welcome in. Thank you again, Guzu and Mord. I appreciate it a lot.
video and find it very nostalgic, I'm not really sure why it's so popular. If I had to guess, it's because non-WoW players and children enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a... yeah, exactly.
It's like the World of Warcraft version of the Duck song, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oxhorn was one of the most popular...
Guzu with the cock, guys. Cocks in the chat. Thanks for 81 months of probation, sir.
Consistent WoW Machinima creators, making multiple shorts, movies, and songs.
Stay away from those crooked elves that look like women and they smell like hell. So if you would take my sound advice, keep a distance of at least 10 feet.
One of my favorite pieces of Oxhorn's work is his Inventing Swear Words series. The series' namesake is based off the invented vocabulary...
Guys, is this Vezipu and Wise Torren? This is like... the new version is Wise Torren and Vezipu.
of swear words used throughout the series.
I think we need a new swear word to add to our repertoire. I've been mulling it around a bit and I've come up with bloit.
Bloit?
Bloit. Bloit? Bloit.
Why Bloit? It does sound too much like Blit, one of the ones we made up last time.
In the early stages of Oxhorn's
I remember the elf on
he
thing.
made videos on
I
the
loved
side
this.
while working a bloiting
Wait, this guy hated elves. Holy shit, I didn't know that.
on job editing spreadsheets. But one day, he got an offer that he could not refuse.
Someone reached out to me while I was working at Amazon and they said, "Hey Oxhorn, I love all your videos. If you fly to San Francisco, we'll give you a job and pay you like 3 times what you're making now to make movies for us." And I'm like,
"Who's that?"
WeGame. And they were developing a software that could hook into the video game that you're playing, allowing you to either record video game footage to your hard drive or allow you to or publish it to their website.
Oxhorn was hired by WeGame to simply make the videos he was already making and upload them to WeGame to attract more users to the site.
This is like Kick getting people to stream in their site.
First, it was amazing. A culture of young, upstart creatives pushing to make something big with an endless hunger for success. But as time passed, reality started to set in.
Like the founder of the company was 19 years old. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I was older than him when I went to go work for him.
What the fuck?
And we all loved games. And he thought that he could take on YouTube. And we tried. All right. This was 2007,
Damn.
2008. I fly down to San Francisco. Man, we tried hard. It was just like I've never been in a work culture like that since. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. But then, of course, the housing crisis of 2008 happens.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty impressive for a 19-year-old.
All of his investors pull out, and suddenly we're stuck in downtown San Francisco with this office that's like $200,000 a month in rent, with a startup company that's starting to take off. You know, it's starting to look good, but absolutely no fuel left in the fire.
Despite the tribulations Oxhorn faced,
200,000 a month. It has to be parents' money, right? How does a 19-year-old have $200,000 to pay?
Moved back to his hometown and continued to make Wow Machinima. And he also sold merch, sold his original music on iTunes, had a
Investors?
beard care website.
That's crazy still, that they would invest in such a young lad.
Published a book and had a weekly live stream. But at the end of the day, Oxhorn needed to support his family, and World of Warcraft Machinima just wasn't paying the bills. On July 17th, 2013, Oxhorn uploaded his last WoW Machinima, called Into the Tin. But that isn't the end of Oxhorn's content creation online. As of now, he has a wildly popular Fallout lore YouTube channel.
Okay,
so I tip my
damn,
hat,
I'm happy for
not
him.
Not only to a creator who inspired me to get into WoW Machinima.
Wait, he blew up here, man. He's doing so good. Or are these old videos?
As of now, he has a wildly popular Fallout lore YouTube channel.
8
so
years
I
ago.
tip my
Okay,
hat,
maybe he doesn't
not
do
only to
YouTube
a creator
anymore.
who inspired me to get into WoW Machinima, but also a fellow lore YouTuber. Now, let's talk about Blood Elf rap music.
Hi, my name is... Who? My name is... Huh? My name is...
Mad Cow.
baby.
Starting in the Burning Crusade,
this is
a phenomenon
Nim.
I will describe as Blood Elf rap music permeated through the World of Warcraft.
Was Nim the same guy that did the... There was an episode with Illidan, Kel'Thas, and Archimonde, and they were like goofy villains or something? Was he one of them? I forgot. That one I liked. I didn't like the music, but I liked the... What was that called, guys?
Warcraft community. The figurehead of these World of Warcraft Blood Elf rap music videos was the warlock named Nim.
Alright, now loot it.
The bone to the
Just
format.
loot it.
Azerothian super villain. Dude, I really enjoyed those when I was a kid. And I remember Blizzard brought him back to showcase him. But it did so bad. He had so many hate. It's like old people and new people, different content. But he was like on this main page right here saying like Nim return or something. You guys remember that, right? It was like on the Battle.net launcher and I was like, holy shit, this guy's the guy that created this thing. And it didn't do too well though.
The popularity of
The new
Nim
people wouldn't understand it, yeah.
music and Blood Elf rap parodies are truly a product of their time. This is when World of Warcraft was at its peak cultural...
Wait, I want to open this so I don't forget. Yum fries. This was my favorite, one of my favorite WoW creator. This video is so funny. This one is so good too. This one too. All his videos I used to spam watch. I don't know what happened to him though. He hasn't uploaded. I don't know if he died. People are saying he died or passed away, but damn. I don't know if he gives him a shout out, but that was one of my favorite channels.
Relevance, and the only time in our universe where WoW rap music videos are instantly dismissed as being cringe. And let me be clear, they are a bit cringe, but these
That was me, guys. I'm so sorry.
videos have such blatant campiness that it just puts a smile on my face. So the Blood Elf rap warlock named Nim was a cornerstone to this subculture and kept releasing hit after hit.
Do I look like a vending machine?
Yeah,
No, I'm a fireball and M-A-G-E. Hard like heroic
I
more
hated
than you
this.
can
I
handle. So
can't.
let's do it like a druid in the general channel. We all just don't wanna be Warcraft stars full of best.
I don't like this.
Probably my favorite Nim song is Death Knight Spree, a parody of Eminem's Without Me.
But this is still the game for
I
me.
hate
Making Machinima, Warcraft movies. But does Blizzard really need more money? And we're about to see a Death Knight Spree.
I don't mind music like this, chat, okay? Oh shit! Like these ones I like. Anyways, I can't with these ones.
Warcraft movies, but does Blizzard really need more money? And we're about to see a Death Knight Spree.
And it's my favorite because I get to dive into World of Warcraft Machinima diss track drama. And first we'll
Oh, there was a diss track. Okay, this one was funny. I like this one.
review the bar that is dissing a notorious user on Warcraft movies.
Warcraft movies. I see something that's scary. Someone claiming he's a shaman and killing my brainwaves. Horrible. Looks like he smells like he needs a bath. Just that fact is enough cause for me to harass.
This is about the Warcraft movie user named Dimmers, and he is
Okay.
the most underrated troll in the history of the World of Warcraft community.
This disaster, movie catastrophe. Then he made about 7 more vids for the world to see. I am a shaman. Conjuring movie. Conjuring movie. Double platinum.
He made a series of videos called I'm a insert class name here, and they're the most low-effort shit posts that seem to be lost to time.
I'm a rogue. I'm a mage. Oh, conjuring. Oh, conjuring. Oh, bread. I'm a warlock and I'm gonna summon someone. Channeling demonic powers in my pants. Channeling. Mom, what are you doing here? I didn't summon you.
What am I doing here? I was busy shopping. Can you stop pretending to be a warlock and get off that computer?
The video
I
reference
mean, guys, this looks like all the kids uploading on like TikTok or Instagram. I feel like no, he's just being himself.
This diss track is Dimmer's most popular video, I'm a Shaman, which achieved double platinum status on Warcraft movies, meaning it had 200,000 downloads.
I'm a shaman. A shaman. Oh, electricity.
I think this is funnier than the rap video.
Despite this video's popularity, people
I understand your humor, man. What the fuck?
hated this guy.
You suck. I lolled my ass off with your gayness.
My eyes bleed, my ears bleed. P.S. You're gay.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Not funny nor entertaining.
You need to die in a fire. The most creepy movie I've ever seen. OMG, YouTube emos are invading Warcraft movies. Run!
The next creator's Nim disses goes as follows.
But Nim's back.
Wait, that was a good joke though. He was taking a shit. No?
OMG, YouTube emos are invading Warcraft movies. Run!
The next creator's Nim disses goes as follows.
But Nim's back. Fixing to ensure that movie's never seen again and then again. It's better than How to Paladin Win. You kick it up to warp speed and just shove and spin. What's interesting? Jimmy's movie in the contest thing was funny but infringing on the Professor Plum ring.
The latter reference is to Jimmy, the World of Warcraft story, a popular
kick drama
machinima where he describes epics as Professor Plums.
Epic mage ring. And hell yes, baby, I'm all over the Professor Plums. That's a clue reference to purple.
The other reference is to a popular series at the time called How to Paladin, which all it was a sped up PvP clips with migraine-inducing music. This has almost 200k views on YouTube. But Nim wasn't the only World of Warcraft rap artist either. Who could forget artists like Summer Gale?
But this just mind blow me. There was a Blood Elf Paladin that used to upload doing 1 BG every single day. And it's just nothing. It's just a normal BG, nothing crazy, right? And this guy was growing faster than me and I was making montages once a month. And fuck, how did I not see that? It was like back then daily uploads were promoted well, I guess. Yeah, seeing this just made me think about that. There was a paladin, blood elf, female, just does a battleground and uploads every day just doing a battleground, and that guy was popping off. I forgot the channel name. And I was like, bro, I'm putting in so much work. How am I getting less views than this?
But Nim wasn't the only...
Back then, if you uploaded more often, you did well.
World of Warcraft rap artist either. Who could forget artists like Summer Gale?
You smile and say, ni hao, and pump some gold. Ni hao, that's my furball.
Or the swag of the Druid Boys.
Watch me switch ones, watch me go.
And we can't forget the slick bars of...
Philip used to do these too. He used to like sing these horrendous music. I think he got inspired by Nim for sure, right?
Watch me switch ones, watch me go.
And we can't forget the slick bars of GG, aka PvP Girl. Oh yeah, also GG, aka PvP Girl, had an app that you could buy on the App Store.
Well, I have an iPhone app featuring 13 of your favorite PvP girl songs, including many of the collabs that you've heard and loved over the past couple years, as well as a chat feature which allows you guys to chat with the other fans as well as myself. All of this for only $2.99.
Now, I could talk about
I
Wow.
think these are cool, by the way. It's just, for me, I can't watch these like music thingies, especially like this one.
Wow Machinima music videos all day, but let me just talk about some of my favorites. We gotta talk about Ulduar by Summergale and Cranius, which is just such an earworm of a song. The thing I love most about this video is the editing and the effects. It's
But
just
this is
so
not bad.
incredibly
How could I
2009
put
with
this?
its style. It's like a Lady Gaga music video with a Warcraft sheen over it. And the actual subject matter of the song is about, well, let me just read you the description.
Okay.
Ulduar has a bit of a Romeo and Juliet theme, where the PvEer, sung by Summergale, is dating the PvPer, sung by Cranius. He's a punk and a bit of a rebel. She's a highly skilled and geared raider. She wants to bring him along to her playground of choice, the newest, most challenging raid instance. He wants nothing to do with it, and wants to show her the dark side of PvP. Another favorite...
Honestly, this is how boys were back then. We all wanted a PvP, and the girls wanted to do the collecting stuff. This is so real. Dude, I never imagined in my life I would be raiding. 2006 or 7 Savix would be so mad at Savix now because I have never ever raided like I do nowadays. I used to be only PvP player.
To do with it.
Only PvP. Like new expansion comes out, get to max level, only PvP. If there's one trinket that'll help me in PvP, I will go grab that and never do PvE ever again, right?
It's been a while.
Yeah, that was me back then.
Welcome back, Peekaboo.
No, it's not even the rank 14 day. It's the arena days where I just get to max level, honor farm, best arena gear, and then PP trinkets or PV trinkets, I guess. Old Savix would steal new Savix's lunch money. I don't know about that one, but the PvP we've betrayed for sure. Or it's more like I felt betrayed and I don't want to play or spend time into that anymore. Yo, Kill, thank you for the 26 a month. Appreciate it, sir. But there's no girls playing games back then. I think there were girls playing, but we were playing a different game than the girls play. Men's desire in game is kind of different. Well, nowadays I think it's pretty similar. There's a lot more girl gamers too. 100%.
And wants to show her the dark side of PvP.
Yo, Cam, thank you for the 21. Appreciate it, my man.
Savix. While you've been gone, I have been training my cat sounds. I will show you.
Go for it.
Meow. Meow. What do you think? Nice to have you back.
I give you a 2 out of 10. Nice effort.
Another favorite of mine is Honor Kills. This is by the Azerothian 6, a parody of the real rap group D12.
I'm sick of all this raiding, we'll screw arena raiding, but nothing compares to pursuing all these honor kills.
And it features the best of the best. We got Nim, we got Gigi, aka PvP Girl, we got Decision, Abandonation, Dominion, and Red Eye.
So crit, come on crit. I said come on crit, everybody in Warsong just laugh a bit.
Damn, honestly, this is kind of cool. They gathered all the top YouTube singers.
The reason why I love this song is not only because it's a guilty pleasure track, but it's also like really well edited while simultaneously being utterly ridiculous and a thing that could only exist in 2009. With its World of Warcraft characters superimposed into like these badass gangsta graffiti-filled subway stations, walking through Grand Theft Auto 4 skylines and futuristic bathroom peep shows. It's beautiful work. And lastly, I just gotta mention.
Holy, what did he sing? I forgot. I remember I watched like a 10-second of him and then I would turn it off immediately. I play WoW. Oh my god.
Jace Hall's I Play WoW.
I hated this guy. I felt like people would bully me in school for playing WoW, thinking everyone's like this.
Another just epic WoW parody with scenes that cannot be shown on modern YouTube. Jace Hall's just wearing a shirt that says gamer, and the best line ever uttered in a WoW parody song. And while people like to hate and discriminate and be mean, in my world we work together to defeat the Lich King. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, ugly, or fat. Everybody be kicking booty in the world of Warcraft. And all of these WoW music creators have disappeared off the face of the internet for the most part. The only creator that I know of that is still active is Sharm, and you gotta respect maintaining that passion for over 17 years. Other than
Holy, that is insane, actually. Yo, shout out to Sharm for continuing on. That's insane. From this whole thing, I think it's awesome that Platinum put this together and is giving a shout out to all the old creators here. They're probably gonna hear about this and watch back and smile a lot. This is awesome. And he's being so nice about it too. Like, I'm a bit of an asshole and I'm like, I don't like that cringe song, right? But this is super nice of Platinum to do. This is really cool.
Gigi, aka PvP Girl, is also active and is...
He's saving Moses for guys. Savix. Moses. This is one of my first videos 14 years ago. Yo, Moses was badass. He took off all his gear except for his pants, kicked one of the best paladins asses on the server, and I kill him with the dagger at the end to show the most disrespect. It's crazy. I had so many haters back then. They're like, you don't know how to PvP or play. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm owning like 1 versus 2, even though I sound like a 12-year-old in these videos.
Now posting...
Play it, I can't. It has like crazy copyrighted musics.
Anti-Zionist documentaries on her World of Warcraft music video parody channel.
Wait, what's that? What happened?
G, aka PvP Girl, is also active and is now posting... anti-Zionist documentaries on her World of Warcraft music video parody channel.
I want to like talk about this, but I don't think it's good to. I have a friend that, really don't like a certain group of people, and I'm like, dude, don't be like that, man.
Let's jump all the way back to the first ever BlizzCon movie contest. One of the winners of the contest was
Okay, I'm gonna touch upon it more because, fuck, I think I can. So they're blaming the shift on, let's say, X. Okay, they're blaming something on, but I have friends. Let's say they're Koreans. Okay, I have Korean friends, and they're super nice people that I would trust, and to call that one Korean race all bad, it's really, really weird to me. You know what I mean? Not worth to get into Twitch. I think I like to speak about my opinion, and if they ban me, fuck it. I changed. I read some books over the time, and I might talk about my mind a little bit more. I will definitely be careful, right? It's like walking in a muddy water, and I'm trying to watch my step as I go through this puddle, but yeah, based, but be careful. Yes, I know, thank you. But I feel like hating on a certain race because they want to blame everything on them is kind of fucked up. Because I know people that, happy birthday. Yeah, I have friends and they're not all bad. So it's kind of weird when people say that race is all bad and evil and they should all die. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you saying, Anyways. Let's talk about this.
Created by Taryn Gregory and Ezra Ferguson. Taryn Gregory was studying video production and film at the University of Washington at the time, and it clearly shows, as one of the things that this movie excels at compared to the other winners of the competition is its use of visual language and shot composition. In fact, it was so apparent that at E3 2006, he met with Blizzard employees who asked him if he wanted to work for Blizzard as an associate video editor.
Damn.
He said yes, and his first project was for patch 1.12, which featured the PvP towers in the Eastern Plaguelands. He would later work on site at South Park to help in the creation of their WoW-centric episode.
Scroll over him with your mouse cursors!
Wait, he helped with the South Park episode? I also heard that they were going to scrap the South Park episode because they thought the WoW was so badly made, but it's one of their best episodes. I love this. I would watch this again.
And right click.
And Terran's first big project was the Black Temple patch trailer. And if the unique process of WoW Machinima interests you, I highly recommend checking out the Building Azeroth episode on the Warcraft channel because it's filled with fascinating stuff.
I remember when we were putting this shot together, just how tricky it was because there were a lot of different layers and characters.
If I was the guy watching, I wouldn't have let this slide by. I would have made them redo it.
Temple patch trailer. And if the unique process of WoW Machinima interests you, I highly recommend checking out the Building Azeroth episode.
I don't know if you guys see it, but me and Aunt Bonnie talks about this all the time. But back when we made montages, we would spend like 2 hours in like a 5-second frame.
And checking out the Building
this scene right here, it's like shaky.
Azeroth episode on the Warcraft
I don't know if you
channel
can see it
because it's filled
sorry,
with
I'm pointing that out like
stuff.
a nerd over
putting
here.
this shot together, just
with the camera, like it should be smoothly going, but it goes like. It means he like ran into some pebbles on the ground and was stuck.
How tricky it was because there
intentional.
were a lot of
I don't think it
layers
is.
and characters and effects going on with his wings and transparency and the shadow. But we didn't have a lot of advanced
This
tools.
I saw. These were awesome.
And I actually taped cellophane onto my monitor and I would draw kind of an outline around where Illidan was when he started and where he ended so I could frame up the shot again and shoot it again with Kael'thas, again with Lady Vaj, and then the environment and then the character, and then hope it all comes together, and it did.
While
that
working
looks
at Blizzard,
good.
Terran kept in contact with the Machinima community and traveled to Machinima events and helped organize a Machinima creator meeting at BlizzCon. I think Terran's most iconic work is the Wrathgate cinematic, which is not only a highlight for the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, but for the entire Warcraft universe.
The big scene with the dragons as they're laying down the red dragon fire, we needed dragon breath. Instead of doing it traditional composite methods, we ended up making a vehicle out of the fire on the ground. The pillar of fire breath would sit in the seat of the fire, and then the dragon would attach to the pillar of flame. And the whole thing was now a
I love the
car.
Wrathgate because it bonded like Alliance and Horde together in the right way to defeat Lich King, and I thought that was really, really cool. And Bolvar and I forgot the orc's name. Was he Sourfang? They have like this pushback, kind of like Sanji and Zoro vibe. It's cool.
We would just drive around the battlefield, and it looked like a dragon strafing, when it was just this vehicle being piloted around.
Terran would continue to work on countless projects, some of my personal favorites being the Gilneas cinematic, the Siege of Orgrimmar cinematic, the Black Hand vs. Yrel scene, and the Junkertown cinematic for Overwatch. Terran is now the cinematic narrative director for World of Warcraft.
Wait, what? The guy that made this
The things that
is this whole thing he did. That's so cool. I had no idea he did all of these.
would continue to work on countless projects, some of my personal favorites being the
This was cool.
Gilneas cinematic, the Siege of Orgrimmar cinematic, the Black Hand vs. Yrel scene, and the Junkertown cinematic for Overwatch. Terran is now the cinematic narrative director for World of Warcraft, and I couldn't think of anyone more deserving of the role, and has left a legacy within the World of Warcraft universe that started with a simple machinimated film that changed the direction of his life and the world of Azeroth as we
That's
know
really
it.
cool. Damn, happy for him.
What I would consider to be the second generation of WoW Machinima creators are the channels that were making films between 2011 and 2018 roughly. These creators were influential in their own right and carried on the legacy of WoW Machinima, but who, in 2025, is still making WoW Machinima? Well, I'd like to shout out a couple of creators still making stuff. The Lost Codex is a WoW lore YouTube channel that creates storybook-style videos covering the history of the Warcraft universe told with...
I want to write these down and I want to see them in the future. Because I love when there's like new WoW creators. Kind of like Wise Torrent. He came into the scene I saw like one of his videos and I threw him in OnlyFans. I was like, yo, you should get this guy an insane RPer. And him being in the guild was awesome. And I always give a shout out to him. I want him to grow.
An in-universe twist, and also has a great use of
So
visual
if there's
effects.
other people, I want to check them out too.
Our emperor had a holy vision of a great battle, a clash between dark and light. We call it Renilash, the final battle.
Gorak's Guide makes animated shorts
he makes good video. I like this guy.
on classic WoW and animates all of the characters by hand and has an incredible eye for slapstick comedy and pushing these ancient models to their limits.
Damn, he's putting in a work. Okay, what the fuck is this? But
Sixten is a
I was gonna say his animations are fucking smooth. And what is it? I forgot the program for the animated chat. There's Blender.
Storytelling within World of Warcraft and the game's unique
I used
history,
to learn it myself.
and has
too.
a great
I
way of
forgot all the
articulating
softwares.
complex ideas.
Because World of Warcraft isn't just a scrapbook of your best hits. It's a living, breathing world with its own special way of remembering its players. Let's explore all the weird nooks and crannies that a long-lived game like World of Warcraft creates.
Weedelf is a machinimator and
Rid
songwriter
of
who
Har!
recently has been involved with the hardcore guild OnlyFangs and is keeping the genre of World of Warcraft rap alive.
Shout out to Widow. There's mudfigs, holy shit!
And he also has this wonderfully made
Dude, this video was so good.
called Weed
This is what I saw the first time.
Quest, the Ancient Blunt. And it's exactly what you'd expect.
We're looking for an ancient magical blunt. Could you help us find it?
Yeah. I haven't had kush like this since Medivh's tower party back in Karazhan.
And of course, we gotta mention Captain Grimm, another master of Wow Machinima production with handmade animations and a keen eye for physical comedy. And there are just so many others, and some that I'm sure I'm forgetting.
Hurricane is amazing. I've seen his there was like a cat video and an elf. That one was really cool. I haven't seen these guys. Maybe we check them all out though. Boximus Prime, the Snake of Voldun. Wait, Snake of Voldun?
And additionally, over the past 20 years of World of Warcraft history, there are so many other prolific videos.
Holy dude, this one was cool. I think for its time back then, this was one of the most well animated Warcraft video. It was kind of like that guy with the nipple scene, the undead nipple scene right here. But he made like a full-on fight with it. It was
and creators
so
that I
good.
can talk about, but this video is already getting really, really long. Like, I didn't even mention Spiffworld, who's my favorite WoW Machinima creator of all time and my biggest inspiration to get into the space. And I'd love it if you went into the comments and said what your favorite WoW Machinima is, whether I mentioned it in this video or not. This video is a work of passion to tell the history of the art form, and I'd love if the comment section reflected that. And what if you, dear viewer, wanted to get into making WoW Machinima? Well, I can recommend a couple resources to you. There's currently a version of WoW Model Viewer compatible with the War Within, but the Battle for Azeroth version is far more stable. You can join the WoW Model Viewer Discord.
The model viewer always has been like that. We always had to use like a older version.
And there will be some very helpful people that can help you get started. There's also an add-on called Narcissus that you can use to green screen
Holy,
WoW
this
characters.
add-on's
And
crazy
there's this
cool.
other add-on called Scene Machine that is some crazy black magic that allows you to make scenes in 3D spaces and animate the camera, and it's actually unbelievable. And of course, OBS is the simplest way to record
What
and
the
capture
fuck? Dude, this is crazy good. If there's any WoW creators that want to be on top of the edge, if you mix these little scenes in as you tell your story, these are gonna be digested well.
Believable. And of course, OBS is the simplest way to record and capture your gameplay. All of the tools are here for you to get started. In fact, I couldn't think of a better time to get started because you have 10 expansions worth of assets that you can use.
Make a machinima
a scene
chat.
in a swamp? Boom, swamp. We have so many different types of swamps that you can go to. You want a scene in the mountains? We got so many different zones in the mountains. Want a certain type of house? We got a lot of different types of houses that you can make a film in. Do you want a chair in your house? We got a million different types of chairs. So many chairs. There are so
watching
many.
this does make me want to make my own video again like back then. But I spent too much time on it. I'm a little bit of a psycho when it comes to like working on stuff. Yeah, I get like flashbacks of working on a sculpture for like 700 hours. A video that's not even like super good. Maybe I spent like a month on. Like I spend way too much time. I'm like that painter where like you just paint infinitely. It's like, oh, I think I can fix that, and then, oh, I think I can fix that. You know, you just keep working on it. It goes forever.
Assets in this game, it has inadvertently turned it into like Microsoft 3D.
And I hate taking breaks too. I want to like finish it at once, right? The Makora video was like one of the last videos I worked on. I made that in like 4 days, but I worked on it. Wake up to bed.
Movie maker from the 90s. Like, the world is at your fingertips here, and you don't need to make a single asset to make a cohesive movie. Am I the only one that thinks this is crazy?
This is a really cool video.
It was seen as its own specific art form to make music videos, short stories, and films. But now we're in 2025, and the way people consume content online is vastly different than what it was back then. Nowadays, machinima could potentially be your full-time job, but the algorithm-based consumption of content online pushes creators away from making films and instead making more recognizable YouTube videos. That isn't to say machinima is dead. Rather, it has the ability to take a new form and bleed into other content for the game, like class guides, video essays, lore videos, and news updates. So while what we recognize as old-school machinima may be lost to time, the art form can innovate into the type of content that is consumed today. And for the past 20 years, World of Warcraft machinima has become an iconic part of the game's player culture, blending creativity with in-game mechanics to craft compelling works of art. And it's through this creativity, players have fundamentally changed the legacy of World of Warcraft. Not only this, WoW Machinima has made a lasting impact, leaving a notable mark on the early days of video sharing websites on the internet as a whole, and even to this day, there is still a community of Azerothian filmmakers.
What did he say? Name a creator that I like that he... I think this is one of my favorite videos from you. I don't think he knows PPC, so I'm gonna leave a heart. Boom. Yeah. I like this a lot because he's giving like showing love to all the creators, right? Really like that you are showing love to the OG creators. That's cool, man. Very cool. I'll share it with you guys. Here you guys go. Boom, boom, boom.
Turning the world into a canvas for their creativity.
Welcome back, yo.
I think.
Thank you.
That's pretty neat.
All right. Hydrate, thank you. Cool person on. What was this? It's like a Patreon supporter? I missed it.